Hi everyone, welcome back. And today we are going to continue with practice paper grade 5 from 2024. And this is exam A. We're going to start with question 1.2. Question 1.2 is still about rhythm. All of question 1 is about rhythm. Question 1.2 is always the same type of question where they ask you to change a rhythm from simple time to compound time or vice versa. So the first thing I'm going to do is, just like the last video, you can draw a simple time, compound time chart. I mean, if you're doing it during the exam, you don't have to draw it several times. You just draw it once on your scrap paper and you can use it for the whole exam. So 2 beats, 3 beats, 4 beats in simple time will equate to 6, 9, and 12 as top number in compound time. Now 6 in compound time would be 2 beats, 9 in compound time would be 3 beats, and 12 in compound time would be 4 beats. Again, simple time, everything is grouped into 2, so I just write down 2 quavers as an example. And in compound time, the beats can be split into 3 equal parts, so I'm just going to write down 3 quavers as an example. Of course, it could be 3 semiquavers instead. Now for this question, where you have to change from simple time to compound time, there are 2 rules that you can remember that will really help you with this question. So rule number 1 is you will add or remove. So you either add or remove a dot. What does that mean? For example, if the main beat is a crotchet, you will have to add a dot to make it into a dotted crotchet. That's the beat. Now, if you start with a dotted crotchet, then you have to remove the dot to make it into a crotchet. So that's the dot. You either add it or you remove it. Now, for rule number 2, it's very similar. You have to add or remove a number. What is the number that I'm referring to here? Now, for example, if you have this, 2 quavers, well, it just means 1 crotchet, right? However, if there's a number 2, this number, at the top, it makes it into a duplet. So duplet actually means 3 quavers, or I take up the time of 3 quavers, right? Now, if you see a duplet, you have to change it into this 2 quavers. So you have to remove the number 2 from number 2 to no number 2, or vice versa. You start with just 2 quavers. You have to now add the number 2 to make it into a duplet. Now, same thing if you see a triplet, so 3 notes, 3 quavers here with a number 3. So there's a number 3, right? In a triplet of 3 quavers, triplet just means 3 notes that are played in the time of 2. So they only take up the space of 2 quavers instead of 3, right? So triplet of 3 quavers actually means the value of 2 quavers. Now, when you do this question, you have to remove the number 3. So of course, you keep the 3 quavers. So let's say if you're playing 3 quavers, you're not going to change it into just 1 quaver or 2 quavers, right? You have to keep all 3 quavers. However, you have to remove the number, or if it starts with no number, again, you'll have to add the number by yourself. So these are the 2 rules. Number 1, add or remove the dot. Number 2, add or remove the number. Now, once you remember these 2 rules, you can go back to your question. So we're going to take a look at this rhythm together. First thing, we're dealing with rhythm, time signature. So of course, we're going to start with the time signature, right? This is 4/4 time. Well, this is just simple time. 4, top number means 4. Bottom number 4 means crotchet. So 4 time means 4 crotchet beats in a bar. Now, if I'm going to apply the rule to this, this is simple time. Now I have to change it to compound time, right? So from simple time, I'm going to change it to compound time. So what would the compound time be? Now 4 beats of crotchet, if you have 4 beats to start with, it will not become 2 beats or 3 beats. It has to be the same number of beats. So I still have 4 beats, right? 4 beats of what? If I start with a crotchet, I have to add a dot now. So it becomes 4 dotted crotchet beats. But for compound time, the top number is not 4. So we have to translate it into a compound time number. How do we do it? If we have 4 bits of something, so look at this. If we have 4 bits of something, in compound time is actually 12. So it will be 12 over something time, right? Now, what would the bottom number be? You can think if you have a dotted crotchet as a beat, so dotted crotchet is your beat, and you have to split it into 3 equal parts, right? Because everything is grouped together in 3. So dotted crotchet is just the same as 3 quavers. So 4 dotted crotchets means I will have 12 quavers in a bar. Now, what is 12 quaver? 12 quaver is 12 8 time. This is the first thing you want to look at in your choices. So we've got choice 1, choice 2, choice 3, right? Now, all 3 choices have 12 8 time just in this exam. But sometimes they might have different time signature. So you can already tell from the time signature whether the rhythm is rewritten correctly or not. But in this example, because they are all in 12 8 time, so they could all be the correct answers. Now, what we are going to do next is to look at the beats in the original rhythm. So you see these 2 is grouped together. These 3 is grouped together in a triplet. Okay, take a look. These 2 quavers together make 1 crotchet. That's your first beat, right? This is actually just 3 quavers in the triplet. So it also make 1 crotchet beat. This is another triplet. Now there are 2 notes only in the triplet. You might wonder why, if you forget that it is possible to have less than 3 notes, but that's because this can be split into 2 quavers. So together with this quaver, we've got 3 quavers in the triplet. So again, this is just a crotchet beat. And the last rest itself, this is a crotchet rest. So they are 4, right? All right. Now, we're going to look at the beat one by one and to apply the rule, either number 1 or number 2. So this is beat number 1. Now, beat number 1, you see that the 2 quavers have no number above them, right? So what we need to do is add a number. So rule number 2. So take a look at your choices. In answer 1, you've got 2 quavers and they add a number 2 there. In choice number 2, they just rewrite the 2 quavers without doing anything. In the third choice, it's the same as choice 1. They add number 2 to make it into a duplet. So this one is wrong because you don't just rewrite it the same way. You have to add or remove a number. So this is already wrong choice. So we can now focus on just choice number 1 and choice number 3. So let's keep going. For beat 2 here, in the original rhythm, there is a number. So it's a triplet. So what do? We have to, this time, remove the number. So take a look at number 1 and number 3. Well, actually, there's no number. So both of them, they have removed the number. So they are both correct. Now keep going on to beat 3, which is right here in the original rhythm. Now this one has a number 3 originally, right? So again, rule number 2, remove the number. So let's take a look. So this is grouped together with no number. This is grouped together. However, they keep the number 3. So this is wrong. So choice number 3 is also wrong. But we're going to look to the end of the rhythm just to make sure, right? Now the last beat here, beat number 4 in the original rhythm, is just a crotchet rest. And so we have to apply rule number 1. You have to add a dot to the crotchet rest. So if you look at the first choice, there is a dot here. So all 4 beats are done correctly in number 1. So number 1 is the correct answer. Now we are going to continue on to question 1.3. Complete the following 2 sentences by adding a number to each. So question A, in 9/4 time, there are how many dotted minim beats in a bar? So first of all, minim with a dot, that's dotted minim beats. In 9/4 time, so 9/4 time, that's compound time. 9 is just 9. 4 means crotchet. So 9 crotchets in a bar. That is not the answer yet because we have to translate it. So you can use the chart above, which is right here. This one. You can refer to this. And 9 would give you 3 beats, right? So now we've got 3 beats of what? Now, bottom number 4 is crotchet. We need 3 of these to make a main beat. So 3 crotchets will give you dotted minim. Okay, so the answer would be 3 because they asked you how many dotted minim beats. So this is the beat. Top number says 3, so the answer is 3. Now for question B, in 4/8 time, what does this group of note equals to? Or equal to how many quaver beat? So quaver will be this with one tail, right? 4/8 time is simple time. 4 means 4 beats, 8 means quaver. So 4/8 time is 4 quaver beats in a bar. Now then let's take a look at this rhythm here. Again, we're going to start with the smallest value, which we have done a lot in the previous video when we do question 1.1. So these 2 notes are beamed together. They are 3 beams, which means they are 2 demi-semiquavers. Each of them is a demi-semiquaver. So 2 demi-semiquavers together make 1 semiquaver. This first note itself has 2 beams, which means it is a semiquaver as well. Now, 2 semiquavers together give you 1 quaver. So the question is, how many quaver beat is this? Well, the answer is 1. So that's it for today's lesson. I hope it helps with your exam. Tomorrow we'll continue with question 1.4. See you next time.